Stephen Colbert Late Show host, writer, I'm glad we ruined Brett Kavanaugh's life. Wow, I don't know anybody that's in the entertainment industry coming out saying they're glad they ruined Dr. Ford's life. It's weird how it always seems to be one side that's very spiteful, isn't it? Let's jump into the story. How they're going to lose the midterms. Pretty much. In social media posts on Saturday, a writer for CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert seemingly celebrated the damage done to Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's reputation during his bruising and bitterly partisan confirmation battle. Quote, "Whatever happens, I'm glad we ruined Brett Kavanaugh's life," the writer, Area Dramas, posted on Twitter. Dramas later briefly made her account private, preventing others from viewing her posts without her approval. Oh, yeah. Why did you make your account private, I wonder? I wonder if it has something to do with your tweets. But anyway, let's keep going. Her Twitter came as the Senator confirmation Kavanaugh to Supreme Court by a 50-48 vote, with Republicans saying that there's several allegations of decades-old sexual misconduct brought to him against him simply lack sufficient collaboration and credibility, which I would totally agree with. Dramas apologized on Sunday, claiming that she was being sarcastic because Kavanaugh's election to the Supreme Court demonstrated that his life had not, in fact, been entirely derailed by the accusations by some Republicans had claimed. But yeah, it's a bit of a piss poor excuse, really, isn't it? Oh, it's sarcastic, and you know, hey, his life hasn't completely been derailed. He was approved at the Supreme Court. Oh, yeah, whatever. I don't believe that for a load, but anyway. Quote, "The last couple of weeks have been hard for the country and for me personally," Dramas wrote. Why has it been hard for you personally? Oh, that's right, because you feel for women. Although, I doubt you would have said anything about the Canadian who got kicked in the head. "The complete anxiety and frustration, anger and sadness can't be accurately conveyed on Twitter, and I regret my tone-deaf attempt at sarcasm in the wake of it." Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to chastise anybody for writing shit on Twitter. I've literally done this up probably just as bad, or if not worse, things on Twitter. But, yeah. But, anyway. I think, look, good luck to her. Keep posting, you know. Yeah. You're showing, like, you're literally a writer for a Saturday Night Live show. You're literally showing you're biased when it comes to this sort of stuff. You know, my difference is I'm not a writer for Saturday Night Live. Dramas previously had quoted news analyst pieces criticizing Kavanaugh for saying that his accusations had destroyed him, including a piece that observed the bar from a man's ruined is particularly quite low. Well, has he not been? Has he not been put through the ringer because of this confirmation? He's had actual speaking engagements and stuff at Law University's Council. His credibility has been diminished. His name has been dragged through the mud. You don't think he came out of this less than what he did when he went in? Sure, he might be on the Supreme Court now, but at the end of the day, if that failed, what was he going to do? Do you think he could have gone back to being a lawyer? Or do you think that half the people that would have gone through would have thought of him as a rapist? Or because of your claims or Dr. Ford's claims of sexual allegations? Like, yeah, I would say his life has been ruined. And no, I don't think it is quite low. I think at the end of the day, if you were female or male and lived through these allegations, then at the end of the day, I think anybody's life would be ruined. And it's interesting, you've always got to make it about gender, don't you? But anyway. Reached for further comment by Fox News. CBS said Dramas' apology spoke for itself. The network confirmed that Dramas currently works for The Colbert Show. In other words, we're not going to do anything about it because, you know, she apologized. So, yay for her. Let's move along. Dramas' IMDb page listed that in addition to The Late Show, she has worked on Stephen Colbert's live election night democracy series final, Who's Going to Clean Up This stuffing, or rather, as well as the 2017 Emmy Awards, which were hosted by Colbert. Both events were markedly and critically anti-Trump throughout. For his past, President Trump tweeted at the time that he was sad to see the Emmy Awards had their worst ever ratings. It seems like every time they get political, the ratings seem to drop. It's weird that, eh? It's like people want them just to be an awards show. Moving along. Drama's account included several other anti-Kavanaugh tweets, including, quote, Brett Kavanaugh is 100% gonna ask Justice Stormont to fetch him coffee, she wrote on Saturday. Dramas also criticised Kavanaugh for invoking his family in the Wall Street Journal op-ed, saying, quote, it's not automatically a moral achievement to be a son, a husband, or a dad. It's biological, a legal discussion, and a biology again. Plenty of something or other holes are all three. She's previously had written that she was emotionally shattered by the current state of affairs. That's alright. We'll get you some band-aids for that emotional status. Colbert's show has mocked Kavanaugh repeatedly. In July, shortly after Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court was announced, Colbert even criticised the then nominee's first name, saying it sounds like a Supreme Court justice and more like a waiter at Rugby's Tuesdays. And after Kavanaugh and Ford testified at continuous Senate Judiciary Committee's hearing last month, Colbert skewered Kavanaugh and minimised his complaints that his reputation was being dragged unfairly through the mud by politicians and uncruel medical reports. Quote, save your indignation that finally someone is taking a woman's sexual assault seriously, Colbert said, responding to Kavanaugh's fierce opening statement at the hearing. There's a difference between going through and taking her allegations serious and dragging someone's name through the mud. For example, if her allegations were to be taken serious and they didn't want to drag his name through the mud, they could have done this all in private. But they didn't. They made the allegations public, which dragged his name through the mud. Like I said, they could have done this 1,000 different ways and still not attacked his credibility. This was a double punch, so to speak. Attack his credibility and possibly drag this out until they get to the midterms, which they failed at. But anyway. Kavanaugh, at the time's emotional and teary-eyed, said the accusations against him were false and had destroyed his family, leading to several violent death threats against his and his wife and daughters, which is actually true. His wife has received death threats. Colbert, although derided Kavanaugh's at the time belligerent testimony as coming with a well-coffeed head of steam. So, look, at the end of the day, it's interesting that the late night show doesn't seem to care about the fact that that someone has gone through and said like this on Twitter. The late show has turned around and said, you know, her apology speaks for itself, seemingly not giving two shits that one of their writers has literally said, I'm glad we ruined his life. Look, obviously it's not as bad as Roseanne, but, you know, it's still pretty bad. You know, you think if this was a conservative writer, he would have given a week off work. He would have been given a week off to think about his position, so to speak. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's double standards. But we know that. We know that this world is double standards when it comes to conservative versus progressives. So I'm not surprised. Look, at the end of the day, if you have a problem with this, just don't watch The Late Show. That's the best thing you can do, is literally go through and just refuse to watch The Late Show. I don't watch it. And at the end of the day, you're probably, you'll attack them financially because the ratings will fall, so the amount of revenue they get for ads will drop. And B, if it continues to drop, maybe people will replace him. But then I think this whole liberal bias is coming from up above, so I don't know if that'll work. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What's your view on this whole "I'm glad we ruined Brett Kavanaugh's life" statement? Do you think she should have been fired? Do you think she should have been sent home for a week? Do you think that there's just no real big deal and she should be able to keep on going with her job? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.